Good morning.
All is well. All is well. Good morning. God blessings.
Good morning. God bless
Morning.
you. I was
God
enjoying
bless
that.
you.
Yes, this
Yeah, I
is
was
good.
enjoying
I was
that, Coach.
taking
That was,
notes.
yes, I was just like, oh my God, I feel just
All
like
right.
you said. Yes.
Good morning.
All right. Good morning. Good morning.
How
I
are you?
I'm doing good. I'm good. I just
Okay.
finished dialysis
Okay.
and all right.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Yes.
Oh, thank
Awesome.
you.
I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Thank you. I thought you all had already seen that. I thought most folks had already seen it.
Yeah, that was
But yeah,
amazing. I really enjoyed that. I didn't see that. No, but thank you for sharing that with us. That was encouraging.
y'all are very welcome. When we okay, he just shared with you all the YouTube link
Oh,
to the TED Talk.
thank you.
So I'm not good at scripts, and they had asked me to write out my whole speech, and I did, but I threw it away. And so they were production behind the scenes, they were going crazy because I was off script. I had told them right before I went on stage. I said I'm not going to say that. I'm going to just speak from the heart. So while everybody else was this is my one shot to tell the world what I think, and that's what I'm gonna do. Every now and then you have to just put it all on the line. So we're here. Let's start with your questions, and after we get start with your progress, and then if there are any problems that I can solve for you, I want to help you all out with that. All right. Does anybody have any progress that you want to share?
Well, this is Karen. I'm glad to see you making some progress. You're doing well. Good to see you. I am actually on my way to speak to the bank. I sent the order that you had in the grant suite, and I also give them a little information about the outreach, and they asked to speak with me in person along with their VP.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so I
that's
just
good.
want to
That's
check
good.
today.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So when they talk with you, they're going to ask you about your program. Do you have any like program material with you, a brochure, a card,
Yes,
a flyer,
yes,
anything?
I do.
All right.
And I actually have the paper that shows that we last year we fed 555,884 individuals. So I got my
That's
stats.
good. All right. What bank is it?
Self, oh no, it's in Wilmington, North Carolina. I have to go on my phone and see. It's self something.
Is it Self
It's
Help Credit
almost
Union?
like a yes, that's them.
All right. Self Help Credit Union. They wrote a book called Building Communities Inside Out. They're a good bank, a really, really great bank. But well, I shouldn't call them a bank. They're a credit union. So they might not, don't even worry about what they won't do. Um, keep it open because they're still a financial institution. They can do a lot of stuff. And if they invited you, that's even better. So you're going to ask them for money, but you also want their partnership.
Okay.
Okay. So when it comes down to asking, the question that you want to ask them is, how could an institution like yours, how could my program partner with an institution like yours? What kinds of things could we do together?
Okay.
That's how you want to look at it. There are times that people are so desperate for money right now that they take money now instead of bigger money later. And I understand that everybody has bills and everything now, but if you're ever too desperate to wait, then you'll kind of only get what they throw at you when you could get a whole lot more.
Okay.
Yep.
I will
So
make a note.
you want to
Thank you.
approach it with them becoming a partner for your community, and you're speaking for your program and for your region. You're not, don't look at it as you're there as an individual. You're there representing a program and a whole region that you're trying to help.
Okay.
And that's why you need a lot of money,
Yes.
because you're trying to
Thank
serve the whole region. Actually, because you're doing that building, you might want to invite them to be part of your capital campaign. They could easily do $50,000 if you're willing to name a room after them or something like that.
Of course. Yes. That sounds good. I will include that in there too. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Good, good, good. I'm proud of you, Karen. All right. Who
Thank
else?
you.
All right. Okay. So those are all the problems. That's not very many problems. I mean, that's all the progress. Anybody have any problems before I go into what you all need to be doing right now?
I don't have a problem, but I would like to meet with you shortly afterwards because we would like to know if you are available for our event in May. And we are planning that. And plus, Dawn said that you wanted to meet with us for a few minutes now that we are on board with our 501c3 and moving forward.
Okay. All right. I know that I'll be in Dallas the first week of May, but we can meet right
Our
after
event is
this.
May 10th and 11th. So which
Oh,
one of
perfect,
those
perfect,
days?
perfect.
Okay,
Saturday
great.
is better than Sunday.
Saturday sounds good.
And what city is it?
It is in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
So excited.
right.
Thank you, Dr. Hatchett.
Yes, so we will talk to you and see what
Oh,
we
my
need to
goodness.
do to make you there. You will be our headliner for our keynote on Saturday.
All right, all right. This is good.
I'm so blessed. Thank you so much. We're praying for you. Thank you, Dr. Hatchett. I'm
All
so
right, all right.
excited.
Yep. Okay. Anybody else? Anything else?
Sorry, Leah.
Go ahead.
Alea? Hello, Hakeem? Yeah.
I can hear you.
$35. I'm in class. Go ahead. What you want to do?
Oh, I don't
Okay.
think that was for me. Go ahead, Brother Clark.
I've got, I called the IRS again. They say originally my registration letter was not approved and that they're going to review it March 25th. And that was discouraging because I have a not-for-profit that's ready for a grant to be written. And she put in for hers 2 weeks ago and had got her registration letter within 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
I don't in their process right
Let
now.
let me look at it. There are times that did you speak to the reviewer?
I don't know who I spoke to. I recorded it, but I don't recall her position.
If they denied it, then they would have sent you a letter with a denial.
Mm-hmm.
Is she saying that they did send you a letter with a denial?
No, they did not. They did not. It's a 7-minute voice recording. I can send it to you just so that we're clear on it. But
All right.
another portion that's discouraging is I have 17 not-for-profit grants that are waiting. I'm willing to pass those on to you, if you want to take those, because they've been waiting quite a bit,
Yeah. So this is a good lesson. It's not a good feeling, but this is a good lesson. So whenever you're writing grants, of course, you do not have to wait until your nonprofit is approved. There are a few things you can do. One of those includes fiscal sponsorship, where another nonprofit submits it under their name.
Got it.
And y'all function as partners.
Yes.
And are you in Illinois or Michigan?
Illinois.
Okay. So what we would do in that situation is find a nonprofit.
Yeah, I have one.
All right. And
Mhm.
and we connect them.
Okay.
We
Um,
connect them so that we can get those grant applications in.
okay.
All right. The other thing that can be done, you cannot do this with the easy form. You cannot do this with the expedited form. You can only do this with the long form.
Okay.
If you have applied for a grant, you can actually petition them to expedite your long form because you're being considered for funding.
All right.
Um, the challenge with that is that you don't know that you're going to get the grant that you applied for. But it's still a strategy that you can use. Then the last thing is contacting your representative, your state representative's office,
All right.
and telling them what happened, and they can expedite. Like they can kind of make calls and walk down the hallway and get
All
stuff moving.
right.
But the easiest way with the least amount of red tape is to partner with another nonprofit. It'll go under their number and their name, but it's your program,
Got
and
it.
you'll just do that as a fiscal sponsor.
I'll do that.
Yeah, but do send me the recording so
Yeah.
I can listen to it, and I'll know what to do.
Very good. Thanks, Doc.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. Next, any problems that you're having?
I do have a quick question, please. This is Karen again. So,
Yes.
a nonprofit can partner with a for-profit that's in another state, like say, for instance, North Carolina, and the for-profit business is in South Carolina. Can that happen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You can partner with anybody. A nonprofit can partner with another nonprofit. Nonprofit can partner with a for-profit with a nonprofit. Any of it. You just want to have the documentation that describes the partnership. That documentation is most of the time it's a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. That is not a legal document, but it's an understanding that the two agencies have with each other. Sometimes you can also describe that connection, that partnership, with a contract. For example, I have a contract where the city of Hendersonville is paying. I think they're paying me 20,000. I don't know if they're paying 20 or 40,000, but they're paying me to implement Black Wall Street in their city. That's a partnership. We don't have an MOU, but we do have a contract. All right. And another way that people partner, they partner utilizing a letter of support. That's where somebody writes a letter that's something like a recommendation, but they're writing it to a third party. They're writing it to a grant funder on your behalf. And they're saying, I think you should give Karen this money. All right.
Hey, Coach, I have a quick question. I'm kind of
Uh-huh.
homeschooling in the background, but the grants, I have the grant calendar, right? So I know that
Uh-huh.
we have particular times to apply for the state, the foundational grants, things of that nature. Do I do like a quick, simple Google search for my state to know exactly what grants are going to be due, within that first half of the year, second half of the year, like just to narrow down instead of me just going on a wild goose chase trying to figure out what's what?
Yeah. State grants, there are a lot of them. And most state grants are reimbursement grants. Now, they're there. There are a lot of them. And they come through various state departments. When you want to know where your state grants are, you'll look at departments of Health and Human Services, departments of Education. But you can also call your state representative's office and ask them for the grants office. And they'll give you the link to where the majority of those grants are coming from. But each state agency has its own grants.
Okay.
If I were you, if I were you right now, I would focus on bank grants because the doors open right now for banks. Bank grants and foundation grants. The other thing about state grants, even though they're there and they're larger, the state grants are often reimbursement grants. Reimbursement grants are not good. Reimbursement grants means you do the work, you spend the money, you turn in your invoice, and they pay you back. But sometimes the fine print says that it has to be an allowable cost, and sometimes they'll challenge it. So it's possible for you to spend the money and not get your money back for like 3 to 6 months.
Okay, wow, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's possible. I have a reimbursement grant right now. It's for $70,000, and they owe me $24,000 right now. You turn in your receipts and your invoice every 3 months. So I turn in the first one, July, August, September. I turn in the first one in September for $12,000. They sent me the money back. They sent me the money, which is fine. And then they had questions about some of the invoices. So they asked me for receipts, about $5,000 worth of receipts. And so I sent that to them. So now we're on the second 3 months, which is July, August, September, October, November, and December. I sent them the stuff for December. This is all the money I spent in October, all the money I spent in November, all the money that was spent in December. And I submitted it to them in January. We are right now in the middle of February, and I still have not received my $24,000.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so bank and foundation grants it is.
Uh-huh. So, what you can do though is take the bank grants and the foundation grants. Whenever you get those, they're going to come to you in a single check, just like the Looking Out Foundation, right? They're just going to send you the check. Go ahead and put that in your bank account. And when you go to the state, you can actually say to the state in your application, you say, we have already received these grants and we're asking you for matching funds.
Okay. So not like the reimbursement thing, but just like to match what's already been given.
Correct. Now, you're also going to list the things that you are going after, but you can definitely list what you have already gotten. And the Looking Out Foundation that you got, you should use that in every one of your grant applications this year.
Definitely.
Everyone, even after the money is spent. What you're saying is that these people gave money for this program.
Okay, great. I appreciate it, Coach.
Okay. No problem. Anybody else next? Okay. Mark, can you pull up for me the Buncombe County grant? Or have one of the writers pull up the Buncombe County grant for me. Okay. So right now, I want each one of you to pull up your list of contacts. So when you're writing grants, the writing is important, but the writing is not the most important thing. The most important thing are the connections that you make. So I want you to, whether you have your contacts in an Excel spreadsheet, you might have them in an email database, you might have them written down on a piece of paper, you might just have a stack of business cards. I want you to find out where your contacts are. And we're gonna show you how to utilize them to get grant funds. Right? So go ahead and do that. Your contacts. Ultimately, You want all of your contacts to be in an email list. Some people use MailChimp. Some people use Constant Contact. Some people use Isaac. Um, Whatever service you use is fine. It's totally up to you. But you want your emails to be inside of a single system so that you can send out a mass email. When you send out the mass email, what you want to do is invite everybody to a single meeting. The reason you're doing this is because you want to tell everybody about your program all at once. Now, this is very, very important. I want y'all to pay close attention. You want your um you want your message to be short and succinct, but you want your message to be powerful, right? And I'm going to show you how to do that. So you have your list, and you're gonna put that in your database. The goal is that when you send this, you're going to send it out to everybody all at once. If you're using like just a single email, you're not using a database, then you put your list, you put each email in the BCC. Do not put it in the to form. Do not put it in the CC. Put it in the BCC. And if you're on Google, you want to make sure you click the blue link for BCC. The carbon copy is when you're sending everybody a copy of the same email. All right. The BCC is blind carbon copy. So you're sending them a copy, but this is the way where everybody does not see each other. There are some times that you want people to see each other, and other times you do not want them to see each other. The reason is that when you're raising money, you want people, when your request is, I'm asking you to give money, you want people like givers, you want givers to inspire each other to give. So when Tanya was here in Asheville, she went to a partner meeting with me, and we had 10 of my potential partners, and we said, all right, our budget is $100,000. And the bank raised their hand. They said, well, we'll do 15. Well, they didn't tell everybody their amount. They said, we're going to give. Then another credit union said, we're going to give. Then the radio station said, we're going to give, and we're going to give you some free ad space, and we're going to their business department said, we're going to help you meet other people and raise money that way. So it was like a big like momentum for giving had built. So there are times that you want people to see each other. That's carbon copy. But there are other times you do not want people to see each other. That's blind carbon copy. So if you're ever sending an email and you're asking for a meeting, you do not want to send a CC. Not for a big meeting, not for a large, huge thing, because people are going to think that, okay, well, it's just nothing. I'm gonna just sit in the background. But if you're asking for money inside the email, you want to ask for money in a way that lets them see each other. All right. So the blind carbon copy, you put all your emails in the blind carbon copy, or you use Constant Contact or MailChimp or Isaac. And your email should be very short. And the goal of the email is to get them to come to the meeting. All right. Everything is to get them to come to the partners meeting. You want to say, hello, I'm such and such. My name is Jay Hackett. I'm the founder of Black Wall Street. We're working to address the city's concern regarding the economic disparity in Black business. All right. You notice I did not say my concern, our current concern. I said the city's concern. Okay. The city's concern with disparity in Black business. Okay. Then you go on and you say, we have been listening to the community and wanted to share our results with you. We'd like for you to be part of the conversation as we explore solutions together. All right. After you've identified the problem, then you want to say we've been listening. Okay. When you say we've been listening or we've been hearing, Now, what you've done, you actually put yourself in a position where you have done something that they cannot do. They have not been listening to the community. They don't know what the community directly wants, but you do, because you have connections, you have friends and neighbors and cousins and aunties and uncles and classmates, et cetera, et cetera. You have all of those people and all of those things. All right. But those big companies that have those big bank accounts, they cannot do such a deep dive. They don't have the connections that you have. They can't, they're not as flexible as you. It's kind of like the big, huge companies cannot, when it comes to marketing, they don't understand the nuances of people in your neighborhood. So they start to use influencers to market. Likewise, these agencies that have this money, they don't have the connections. A lot of times they are not black or brown. They're not women led or women owned. They're not in the neighborhood. They don't know the people, but you do. So you want to highlight that. So after you say, my name is Jay Hackett, I'm the founder of Black Wall Street, and we're working to, to help solve the city's problem of economic disparity. We have been listening to the community and wanted to share our thoughts, our insights, wanted to share our results, our findings, wanted to share our outcomes and what we have learned. Any of these statements are good, but you want to say something that shows them that you have been listening. All right. So let's review so far before I give the ending of this email. Number one, my name is such and such. I'm the founder of blah, blah, blah. That's your founder statement. Number two, the second sentence is we are addressing, or we are responding to, or we are working on the city's problem of blah, 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 or the county's strategic goal number 3, or the region's economic development report, whatever the thing is that you're working on. All right. It needs to be something big and solid. It needs to be something that any or everybody can attach to. All right. Then the third thing is you want to say what you've been hearing or learning. All right. We've been learning such and such. We've been hearing blah, blah, blah. And we like to invite you to be part of the inside of the conversation. We like to call you in to discuss this. We like to invite you to participate. All right. So you want to say something that's going to cause them to want to come into your environment. This is where you use your words to evoke emotion. What you're really saying is that I know something that you don't know, and I think you need to know it. You need to know it because you don't know these people, you don't know their life, you don't know their situation, but I do. Maybe I know it because I'm one of them. Maybe I know it because I used to be like them. For whatever reason, you know it, you know it. But you're, in essence, doing something for this company that they don't already have. And people value what they don't have. All right. If I gave you a gift and I said, don't open it, if I gave you a box and I said, can you hold this for me? Then you have no problem with it. That's fine. But the moment I say, don't open it, don't look in it, and please don't touch the left. Do not touch the red section. Don't touch this button. Immediately when I say, don't touch this button, what are you going to want to do? You're going to want to touch the button.
Yep.
Because people want what they do not already have. So you have to write to your funding sources in a way that lets them know that you have something that they don't have. What do you have? You have community perspective. You have lived experience. You have ideas they haven't thought of. You have projects that they haven't explored yet. You have new strategies that they haven't come up with yet. You have lots of stuff. You might not have the money that they have, but you have lots of stuff that they need. All right. And then you just put we'll be meeting, and you put the date and time of the event. Now, when you put the date and time of the event, your event is going to be virtual unless you want it to be in person, but I would make it virtual so you can remove barriers. And I would set it for 30 minutes. Now, in the nonprofit world and the community business world, the best days to meet, you'll see a lot of people are already meeting on Thursdays at lunchtime. Another good time to meet is Tuesdays at lunch, but we're here. Lunchtime is good because lots of people work through their lunch. They'll have a working lunch, and they don't have meetings already scheduled for lunchtime. Days to avoid are Mondays and Fridays. So if you're doing it around lunchtime, if you're going to be here, then you can't be there, but Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday at lunchtime. And if you don't want to do it at lunchtime, pick a time after 10 o'clock and before 2 o'clock. Well, before 3. So between 10 and 2 is when you want to do it. If you know that you're going to be working with people in multiple area codes, time zones, then you might want to do it at 11. So that makes time for the 9 o'clock people that are in the Pacific. And then your 11 o'clock would be 1 o'clock for people that are in the East. If everybody you're inviting is local, then you have that. All right. So let's review, and then I'll take some examples. This is invitation to a partners meeting. They're saying, hi, my name is Jay Hackett. I'm the founder of Black Wall Street. That's sentence number 1. Number 2, we're working to address the city's economic disparity report or economic disparity problem or goal that's set by the county. This is sentence number 2. Sentence number 3 is where, and this is where you start to assert yourself a little bit, and you're doing it in a real delicate but assertive way. You're saying something that says, we've been listening to the community, and we'd like to invite you to discuss such and such. It's the meat of it. But that's where you invite them. And then sentence number 4, the meeting will be such and such. We'll be meeting on blah, blah, blah. That's the date and time of the meeting. Now, if you really want to push it, and like put the icing on the cake, name the outcome of the meeting. By the end of this meeting, we will. Now, mind you, it's just a 30-minute meeting. But you're selling them on what they get if they do such and such. So you want to make it very attractive. By the end of this meeting, you'll be connected to more local people that are interested in your program, let me give you this caveat. The people that you are inviting, some of them are elected officials and they want voters. Some of them are people that are leading other agencies and they need butts in seats. They have money, they have programs, but they don't have people, and they need you to get the people. Sometimes these people on your list that you're emailing are donors. Those donors want to be seen doing good. I'm getting ready to say something that is very, very delicate. And I'm saying it to you with all sincerity. Number 1, because it's true. Number 1, because it's true. And number 2, because you need to know it. But I'm trusting that nobody will abuse this information and nobody will take what I'm getting ready to say and just go left field. I mean no harm. It's just a true statement. All right? Are y'all ready for this? If you're not ready, you're just going to have to close your ears. Do anybody want to know? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can
Ready,
hear you,
ready.
and we
Yeah,
All
are
right,
ready.
y'all.
wide open, my ears wide open. I want to hear it. Yes.
Okay. All right. Um, all right. Everything is a commodity. Everything is a resource. Okay. That includes people. People are a resource.
Okay.
And the Bible says in Revelation chapter 13 that all these different commodities are being sold. And the last commodity that is being sold is the souls of men, SOUL. All right. So everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants God's treasure, and God's treasure, biggest treasure, is people. So the donors, they want people. They want people to know that they're giving money.
Mm-hmm.
The programs, those other programs want people. They want people to come into their programs in order to validate the spending. All right. So if they have $1 million and they have no people, they look bad. You get what I'm saying? So they need people to be enrolled. And then you have the politicians, the elected officials, they need people. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody needs people. And I'm trying to back into this really slowly, because I don't want to be mistaken. But when you are an upcoming program and you don't have a whole bunch of money and you don't have a whole bunch of resources, you need to have access to a whole bunch of people. And it really don't matter who the people are. Everybody is valuable. They can be poor people, black people, white people, homeless people. They're people. And your biggest commodity is people. And the quicker you understand that, the faster you'll grow. We had an event at Black Wall Street last week. And the building can only comfortably hold about 75 people, considering the band and the bathrooms and the stage and the setup and the food and the catering and all that stuff. It can only really hold about 75 people. But we had 200 people registered. And they asked me, they said, we might need to go to another location. I said, no, I'm not getting another location. And actually, I thought about it. I said, we can rent a theater, we can rent an event center, we can go somewhere else. But then I thought, which one would I rather have? Would I rather have people coming into a place that is full or barely full? Or would I rather people come into a place that is over full and you can't find a seat? Which one do you think creates a bigger impact when the funding source walks in?
Overfull.
Over full. Over full. So I said, all right, we're going to have it right here. And when they said we're going to have it there, automatically people need to show up early. People looking for a seat. People calling saying, you better get down here. There's excitement. There's intensity. And the elected officials that are there, they're excited. You get what I mean? And this is happening because I understand this. People want people. And so when you're talking to your funding sources, you want to present yourself in the strongest way possible and let them know I got people. So in this email, the icing on the cake should be where you let them know by the end of this meeting, you will have more people knowing about your program, more connections to this community. All right.
Yep.
Okay. So this is 4 sentences, and then the icing on the cake. Does anybody want to share theirs and use it as an example?
I don't have mine written up, in the proper form. But of course, my organization assists homeless, or what they call the displaced pregnant women. So I was just wondering, how would I put that? The first line, well, the first line is the founder statement. So the second line, how would I put that into layman's terms to let them know that this is what I'm coming for, this is my concern, this is who I assist in the community.
All right. In this, you talking about sentence number 2?
Yes, sir.
All right. In sentence number 2, well, in sentence number 1 is saying who you are and what the agency is, and you might include your mission statement. Sentence number 2, you're not telling them you're not telling them the details of what you're doing. You're highlighting that you're helping to solve a citywide problem. So how did you say that y'all refer to the homeless? What do they call unhoused? Or what do y'all call them?
Well, displaced.
All right, displaced, what, mothers or what?
Pregnant women.
Okay. We address the county's challenges with displaced pregnant women who are displaced. But you have to name city, county, region, something like that. You have to anchor your help to something that has already identified the need. So a city, a county, city's report, the county's report, or if the county just had like a law passed or something like that, or it just has to be connected to something big. It's not just this is what we do. It's that we respond to the county's need for solutions for pregnant women that are homeless. We're responding to the school board's need for more Black teachers that are trained in math and science. We're responding to the community's need for youth intervention programs. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm
Yes, sir.
being clear enough.
Yeah, no, you were extra clear. It kind of made me narrow it down a little bit.
Okay. All right. Who else? All right. What I want you all to do, you can draft this statement. It's only 5 lines. Well, it's 4 lines plus the icing on the cake. And the icing on the cake is, by the end of this meeting, you will, by the end, you will, at the end of this, or by the end of this, you will such and such. All right. In email world, people read the title, then they read the last line. So you want to do a PS that renames the most important thing. And the most important thing is you want them to come to the meeting. You want them to click a link, register now, something like that. Okay. If you have any challenges with this, then you use ChatGPT. Take the thing I said and put it in ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to make it personal for you. If you're using the free version, which is 3.5, then it's going to spit out something good. If you use the version 4, which is the paid version, of course, it's going to be more unique. It's going to be more tailored. It's going to be less common. It's going to be more nuanced. But the way to make the free version feel like the expensive version is to give it good information. I'm trying to see if I can pull up ChatGPT. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. All right, can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
When I talk to ChatGPT, I talk to it like a person.
Can you close that thing at the top? That man. Thank you.
Oh, all right. Can y'all hear me? Can
Yes,
y'all
can you
still hear
hear me?
me? Okay.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can hear you and see what you're doing.
All right. So I just tell it what I'm getting ready to do. This is how I set up the chat GPT because I want them to think in a certain way. Okay. Now this is a long prompt. Um, Whenever you look at AI, some people cut corners, and it's like when you put junk in, you get junk out. When you put junk in, you get junk out. If you put little in, you get little out. But look at what happens when you put good details in. And you don't have to have it all perfect when you put it in, but give it a lot. Tell it who you are. Tell it what you're trying to do. If you have a template from me, you might even have a template from um, that we gave you in Grant Suite or email template. You might have some instructions like here, I just gave instructions, okay? And you just want ChatGPT to make it easy for you. That's exactly what you want. And here it is. Dear partner's name, I'm Jay Hackett, the founder of Black Wall Street, and in an initiative dedicated to revitalizing and empowering our community in Asheville. Through innovative solutions and dedicated work, we are addressing critical challenges to create sustainable, equitable future for our residents. I would like to personally invite you to an important event where we will discuss how we can join forces to make significant impact difference in our community. Your presence will underscore the importance of collaboration and collective action in our journey towards positive change. Please mark your calendar for this transformative meeting on Zoom, scheduled such and such. P.S. Engage with Black Wall Street presents a unique opportunity to be part of a success story, making real, lasting improvements in Asheville. Together, we can achieve outcomes that resonate, blah, blah, blah. All right. Now, what do y'all think of that? I'm going to actually change the tone because it sounds too formal for me. That's I am a formal person, but that went way overboard. There was a whole lot of syllables in those words. But I want to hear y'all's feedback while I make this adjustment.
I think it was great, but sometimes I like to give it another, like, try again to rewrite it just to see what else
Uh-huh.
it gives. And sometimes the second one come out better than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I agree because I'm still learning the chat GPT, and I don't think I have ever went into the full detail like you did, because I was like, this is like, I don't know if it can take all that, but now I know, so I'm definitely gonna try this.
Oh, ChatGPT could take a lot of
Listen.
stuff. I play with it a lot.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I was just trying to see how, what it would do, but I'm glad that I know now that I can give it more detail because I like the way that it put the letter out there.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't like this. I don't ever say so. Here's the deal. But some people talk like that. Let's meet up on such and such. Yeah, I used to think that, I might be pushing it too hard, like the computer gonna break a sweat or shut down.
So, okay, say for instance, like if the first part of the letter of the first one that they spit out, I like the first paragraph, but from the second letter that it spit out, I like the last paragraph. Can I like take the pieces of it, what it's giving me, and put it together myself?
Actually, it'll do it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, just copy and paste it onto a Word doc.
Well, what I do is I just tell it, I like the first part of the first one and the PS statement last one. And it'll do it for you. You see that?
Okay. This thing is cool. Okay.
All right. Then, just to kind of push it a little bit, can you create a flyer for me that goes with this And
I'm
we'll
about to scream if this thing makes a flyer.
It can make images and stuff now. That's the chat GPT 4 though, not 3.5.
oh yeah, it's definitely gonna do it.
I've been playing with that yesterday, and it also could put the words up on it as well.
Yeah. And you can get plugins, it can do your PowerPoints and everything.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be my little assignment today, like getting on chat GPT.
You see the flyer?
Oh my God.
It's nice.
Oh my God.
Yep.
But the only thing I don't like about it, because it got it like a web thing, but you got to put it in, you got to turn it into a PDF, PNG or JPEG.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Wait a minute. So how do I grab this photo? Like, what are y'all
Uh,
talking about?
right here, you see where it says Chat GPT on my screen. Right underneath, you have the arrow pointing down to the line.
Okay.
You download it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And if you're on an iPhone, you just press that button.
Yes, definitely have an iPhone.
To download. All right. Now, can you remake the flyer where it shows? All right. So I don't want to get too stuck in ChatGPT because I'll start playing around with it. But what questions do you all have about this? This is to invite people to your partners meeting.
The flyer is amazing. And they made that flyer for you? Wow. Wow. That's nice. That's nice.
Yep.
I appreciate you, Coach, because
I really do. This is mind
this was
blowing.
this was a gem for real.
Yes.
I was playing with that yesterday.
I saw the chat people writing the letters, but not like that. That's amazing. That's like, wow. Like,
Oh yeah.
wow.
Like if you
It
can't
could
find the pictures that you're looking for, all you do is put it in chat GPT and it will create the pictures.
Wow, you hear that, Diane?
it makes it a whole lot easier, and it stops it from being like only rich people have access to stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's available to everybody. All you have to do is put in the work. So play around with it. And what I want you all to do is to craft your emails. Now, this is the caveat. You can do it the long way that I told you. You can take the instructions from the long way, and you can do it the short way with ChatGPT. It don't matter. You just have to do it. Okay? No matter what email you send out, no matter what you do in business, it will never ever be 100% perfect. So don't struggle with that. All right? It just needs to be good enough that you're okay with it. And what'll happen is you'll get better over time. The worst thing you can do is wait till you get it all together in order to start. Don't do that. Go ahead and put the request out. Somebody's going to show up. Okay. Now, as people sign up, you want to celebrate them big time. So if you see that somebody from United Way shows up, don't name the person, name the agency. If your friend is a teacher at Citywide Elementary School and she decides to come, don't say my friend is coming. Say Citywide Elementary School just responded. All right. If your friend of yours that picks up trash for the city decides that they're gonna come just to support you, don't say my friend Bob is coming. Say the city is coming. All right. What you're doing is you're building the excitement. Remember, The biggest commodity is people. And so how can you celebrate your people in the best way possible? I'm going to use y'all for example. I'm not ever going to say Alina Smith is coming. I'm going to say Grandparent Assist is coming. And what's the name of your for-profit company with the DNA? The what is it called again?
All-in-one direct testing services.
I'm not going to say Alina is coming. I'm going to say All-in-one drug testing services is going to be in the building. They do DNA testing, and they're like behind the scenes on paternity court. They're like the behind the scenes for paternity court. What have I just associated them with?
We was.
Oh, y'all would, yeah. Well, I didn't even know that. But what have I just done? Even if you had never worked with paternity court, what have I just done?
You just branded my business.
Yeah. Yeah. I branded their business. I connected them with a powerful brand, something that's known. And if they had not already done work with them, you know, they could do work with them. It could be a partnership. I branded them. I gave them, I actually, I highlighted their value by associating them with paternity court. Now, all of the people that like a paternity court are potentially going to want to talk to them. Let me see who else is here. I'm not going to say Reginald Clark is coming. I'm going to say a retired veteran that that had previously destroyed the community and now is working to build it up and is renovating the theater in the community. He's going to be there. Nobody cares about Reginald Clark by name. They care about his value to the world. And it's my job as a host to make sure that everybody around the table understands each other's value. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say who else is here. I'm not going to say that Kristen, well, oh Lord, Sean is here. Sean is a financial expert. I'm not going to say Sean is here. I'm going to say a financial literacy expert is here with over 20 years in the banking industry. I'm not going to say Retanya Sellers is here. I'm going to say the winner of the National Looking Out Foundation grant is going to be here.
Yes. Okay.
And the thing is, and this is the sad thing, it's a poor king that won't praise his own pawn, but it's a poor teammate that won't praise his own team. So many times in the Black community, we look at each other and we diminish each other. And then it's hard to make progress. Well, what if we actually took time to build each other up and to honor each other's experiences and struggles, etc.? Like, if somebody here had overcome poverty and had overcome homelessness and had survived domestic violence, etc., if they have made that public, then you celebrate that. This is not in a way that is tokenism, but in a way that says, listen, y'all really need to meet Alina. This is a grandmother that is out there killing it. She owns a business. She is a she founded a nonprofit, and she's doing all this while taking care of her grandkids. You need to meet her. And then somebody's going to say, what's her name? Like, it is your job as a host to build up the value of the people that you invite. All right. So all of your friends should be there. All of your colleagues should be there. But also some strangers are going to be there. Alina, y'all work with Maury Povich.
We did the Maury Povich DNA test for them, Steve Wilkos and Judge Matthews. Holla.
Okay. Yeah, that need to be, yes, everybody need to know that. I wouldn't even say, like, you know, Alina, God bless you and your pretty name, but don't nobody care about your name. The world cares about what you have done for them. What have you done for me lately? That's what they care about. And if that's what they care about, so be it. If this is the part of me that is serving the world, so be it. You can pay me and find out my name later. Honor me and get my name right later. After you meet me, you're not ever going to forget me. But for right now, let me show you how I can help you. So utilize everything you have, everybody you have, everybody that comes across, everybody that registers, that signs up. I do this all the time. All the time. I put partners together so that they begin to encourage each other to do good stuff. So there's a business owner in my city. I know that she's racist. I know she's racist. She knows she's racist. She knows that I know she's racist. Publicly, she is very nice to me. Privately, she's very racist. But I don't care, because what I do is I ask her for money publicly. I wait until we're in public and we're around other people and she wants to look good in front of people. And that's when I ask her for money.
I'm screaming.
Why do you think she gives me money?
Because she want to look good for other people.
That's right. And you know what I'm going to do after she gives me the money? I'm not going to disappear on her. I know that she wants to look good in front of other people. What do you think I'm going to do?
You're going to make sure she look good in front of other people.
That's exactly right. I had to speak for a university, and she was in the audience. It was like some type of certification class that people do in the community. She was in the audience. I was like, oh man, look, y'all, that's such and such. She did so much good work for blah, blah, blah. I'm glad to see you. Hey. I said that from the stage. She felt so good. Then she came up to me on the break. Now, the thing is, y'all, I know she's racist.
Yeah.
She knows she racist. She know that I know she racist. But I'm great at what I do. I'm the best at what I do. And it's my job to raise money. And that's what I know how to do. So when you think about your people that you invite, do not only invite people that you like, do not only invite people that like you. The whole earth is the Lord's, the fullness of the world, and they that dwell therein. And whether or not, Jesus is your Lord, that's between you and him. Foundation is foundation. And you have to know that everything in the universe belongs to humanity. All right. Everything is here and it's available for us to utilize for the greater good. If money is moving, that money belongs to the community. Now, I'm not suggesting that you rob or rape or pillage or steal or do anything dishonest, but I am saying that the richest elite in America did not get rich and be elite on their own. It just didn't happen. Not in America. Everything in America was built on the shoulders of Black folks. And they are banking on us not reading. They bank on us not knowing how the system operates. They bank on us getting emotional and throwing our caution to the wind. They bank on us losing our cool. The reason that Martin Luther King Jr.'s movement was so powerful is because of the self-control of the people. The people controlled themselves. They're like, they are not breaking any laws. They had reason to. They could have fought back. But anybody that's familiar with the civil rights era, they actually had trainings on how to do protests, trainings on nonviolence, trainings on how to fall. They even told them things like, wear a full t-shirt and write your name and birthday on the t-shirt. Just in case something happens to you and you can't tell people your name. They prepared for that. Now, whether you decide to go the Martin Luther King way or the Malcolm X way, you also need to know that both of those brothers were approaching it just from different aspects. There's a time and place for everything. When it comes to you and your business and your nonprofit, look for money under every rock. Look for money under every tree, every business, every organization. If I were you, I would go on Fiverr and purchase a list of businesses to invite. You can get a list for like $100, a list of 10,000 people, businesses, and you're going to invite them. All you need is numbers. You almost don't care where the numbers come from. You just need those people to be there because your message is going to get out. I'm going to stop and I'm going to take some questions for the next 5 minutes.
Okay, so I have a quick question about the grant sweep. So going back to what you stated earlier about right now, it's a good time to get in with banks and foundations. So what would be the best way to utilize the grants sweep for this particular time of applying?
For a grant suite, you can go and type in banks, but you really want to use your the banks that you know are in the area, and it might only be 5 of them. And you can pull the sponsorship form from Lord, not from Black Wall Street. Pull the sponsorship form from Grant Suite and pull the email introduction from Grant Suite.
Okay, gotcha.
And for the team, Mark, can you all take this email that I crafted here and make that a template for Grant Suite? I think that'll help people. This is the email to invite partners to a partner meeting. Will it help y'all if I put this in Grant Suite for you?
Man.
That'd be nice.
Indeed.
All right. All right. Okay. All right. So sponsorship forms and emails, because that bank is going to have, the banks have 2 different funding sources. One funding source is grants. The other funding source is one is grants. The other funding source is donations like sponsorships. And you can use this email for credit unions as well. All right. Who else? Any other questions?
My internet kind of shut me out of here for a second. You were saying something, I came in at the end. You were saying something about get 100 emails. What's this 100 emails for?
Well, I encourage everybody to have 100 emails that you can, 100 emails, like different people in the community, businesses, organizations, foundations, et cetera, et cetera. And these are your potential partners. You want to invite them in. You want 100 emails. But when your computer shut off, I think what I was saying was that you should also get a list, because you want to invite as many people as possible. So you can take $100 and go to Fiverr and buy a list of like 10,000 emails.
And that's emails of Pacific of foundations and stuff like that, or just business around the area?
I have purchased both. I buy lists all the time. In fact, for some of my clients, the higher end clients, as soon as they sign up, I go purchase lists from their area. That's one of the ways that I help out in the background. So lists of businesses and lists of foundations and charitable organizations, nonprofits.
Thank you.
And Coach, what's this one? Fury? You said Fiverr?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And you can buy, like, you can get 500 of these and 500 of those. They're going to ask you when you're requesting lists, they're going to ask you what vertical or what type of entity you want lists of, and what city, what zip code, things like that. So you want to say for-profit businesses or nonprofit organizations or hospitals or caterers or whatever. For my coffee shop, I know that most of my customers are physical trainers. And so I buy a list of physical trainers and health enthusiasts and yoga instructors.
So you buy a list pertaining to,
yeah, who you want to show up. So for you, you want nonprofit organizations. You want to be known in the nonprofit world. So you're inviting all of them.
okay, just nonprofit.
And you're inviting foundations.
Am I what?
You are also inviting foundations.
Foundations. Okay, thank you.
Mhm. All right. Anybody else? All right. Well, y'all, on Monday night, I'm going to be teaching shortcut to grants. And of course, I know the long division way, but I'm planning shortcuts for you all. There are 4 shortcuts that I'm specifically going to show you about grants. And of course, there'll be more as people ask questions. But what I want you all to do, make sure you sign up. It's totally free. And make sure you pass the word. We only have about 100 more seats. I looked and I saw that we are already at like 250. So I think we have about 100 more seats available. It might be 300. But anyway, I think we only have about 100 left. But we want to have 500 people there. We want to have 500. And I think that'll help spread the word. If you know churches, mosques, synagogue, masjid, it doesn't matter, faith communities, there are lots of people that are doing things out of their donations. You don't have to do that. Okay. And I want to show people how to do it. If you know folks that are in business, and they want to understand how their businesses can benefit from grants. And it's not only by using for-profit grants. There are a whole lot of ways that this can be done. So I want y'all to go ahead and spread the word. You can share the link, get people to register, and we'll be there on Monday. All right?
Sounds good.
Sound like a plan.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. I pray you feeling better by the day.
Yes.
Same here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Praying for you.
All right.
Thanks for sharing how the dialysis is going too.
The dialysis is going well so far. They
Mhm.
said I should be able to start the at-home dialysis after next week. They're going to check my levels, and
Okay.
then after that, they're going to step me down to at home. I had to talk to them about my travel plans to just to see if I had permission to travel for the conference in Dallas. And they said, yeah, my machine actually it has a case with it, and I can travel with it. And it travels for free. But
okay.
yeah, so I'm just trying to take it easy.
Yeah,
I have
do.
to plan everything way, way, way ahead of time and get it all clear by the doctor.
Can I ask you a question? I know you had mentioned before. You said you may have to get a kidney, or you?
I know that I will. I will. Yeah.
Okay.
I will have to do a kidney transplant. I don't know how the donor process works just yet. I haven't had that meeting, but I know that I'm going to have a transplant at some point, and of course, the sooner the better. My kidneys are still functioning. They're just functioning below how they're supposed to. There's some people on dialysis because their kidneys don't work at all. That's not my situation. But I know that I need a transplant, and I want to get an early start on it. I don't want anything to deteriorate beforehand. But my levels are good. Blood pressure is good and stable. And as a matter of fact, the lady told me, she said, Mr. Hackett, you need to eat more protein. and you need to drink less water. And I was like, that's weird. But she explained to me how water is like too much liquid is not good when you're on dialysis. So you got to balance it out. She told me about the sodium and everything. So um, anyway, it was cool. I like my dialysis nurse. She's real solid. She asked me what I do. She came in the room while I was talking on Facebook Live, and she said, "Well, what do you do?" And it was hard to explain. I was like, "Well, I'm a teacher, but I'm kind of a coach." Like, what sport? Well, not really a sport. Hard to explain.
So
So I just
writing
told
these
her,
grants are sports
yeah, yeah.
for sure.
I told her I'm a grant writer, and I teach people all around the country how to do it. And then um, she asked me another question, and I told her that I've been studying, and she said, "Well, what are you studying right now?" I said, "Well, I'm actually studying y'all, and I'm studying the dialysis center and health equity. I'm studying health disparities. I want to understand how y'all are set up and why y'all set up. I want to know how y'all money flows, how your policies operate, um, and all that." And we started talking about how the dialysis centers are often located in or near Black communities that are low income. Like, there's not a dialysis center in my neighborhood at all, but they got
Wow.
one down here, down the street from the local liquor store.
That is very peculiar.
Uh-huh. Yep. And if you look at the cities, you'll notice that the
Very
dialysis
intentional.
centers, it is very intentional. Isn't it
Yep.
interesting? Isn't it real interesting how the place where they sell us deep fried foolishness
Yep.
and all the billboards of the slit small's liquor foolishness. So I don't know if they still have those. When I used to drink, I drank OE. I don't drink anymore. I stopped drinking when I was a kid, but everybody in my family drank, so it wasn't nothing. They used to say beer is like water. But I used to drink Old English, but I remember the cigarette advertisements, the beer advertisements in my neighborhood that were not in other neighborhoods. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
And I also told her how in Asheville, where my coffee shop is, they are so serious about this particular neighborhood that the city will not let billboards and certain images and everything be there. Why is that? Because they don't want those people to have to deal with those images, but they allow it in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
so
almost like
amazing
they're
though.
programming people. Say it
It's
again.
it's so amazing though, coach. It's like unfortunately you have to sit right in smack dab in the middle of this, but God is just unlocking more and more of your destiny. And it's just like to get in there and be an advocate for that, because that's disheartening to know that this stuff is only set up in the low income communities, the Black communities. Let's just be real about it. So I'm glad. I don't want to say I'm glad this is happening to you, but I know God is going to bring you out of it. So I'm not worried about that. But I believe this is a on time and for a purpose as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. I told her, I said, I study systems. And it don't take me long. I study systems. I know that every system has 8 dimensions: as environment, education, entertainment, and economy, government, religion, technology, and sociology. Every system has 8 dimensions, and it's just a matter of time. And if you follow the money, you'll figure it all out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I told her how I realized that this is only happening in those communities. The waiting room has all Black people in it, and this is not right. This is not right. I bet when you compare the statistics of like what percentage of the Black community has kidney disease and what percentage of the white community has kidney disease, it's going to be just like looking at a jail population. What percentage of the white population is in jail? What percentage of the Black population is in jail? And just see, it just ain't fair.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
So I'm going to send to your inbox on Facebook too this guy that I follow on YouTube, and he does a lot of herbs that helps people get rid of those type of diseases too. So I'm gonna send him to your inbox so you can kind of check him out and see his videos. He has testimonial people calling in on his live saying, dude, I'm totally cured by taking those herbs that you recommended. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and send it over and I'll take a look. But thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. And y'all make sure y'all put this stuff to action.
Yes.
Craft your email. Get your list, whether you buy your list or build your list, it doesn't matter. But by this time next week, the emails need to be sent.
All right.
All right. And I'll see y'all on Monday night. If each of y'all bring 5 people, and like if you have a church committee, bring the whole committee.
Do mine.
Bring the whole committee.
Sounds good. Do you want us to stay on here when you go off or reach back out to you?
Yeah, you can stay on here. I'm gonna be off video. But you can stay on. Any other questions before we go? It's 2:00, y'all, in the Eastern time zone.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all take care.
I inboxed you on Messenger, so if you respond, that'll be great.
Okay.
All right, Doc. Thanks.
All right, y'all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a nice week.
All right, bye.
Have a good day, everybody. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Have a good day, everybody. Blessings.
All right. So this is Dawn's team that's staying behind?
Yes. There's non-participants still on, but I guess they'll eventually go off, or maybe that's some of your staff.
Yeah, my writers are here.
Okay.
They'll be taking notes on what we say. So anything that needs to be implemented.
Well, first is we really want to have you come, and we're really, really happy that you will agree to this. We're looking at March the 10th.
May.
And May. Oh, why am I saying March? Thank you, Dawn.
I got you covered. Yes.
All excited. Okay, let me slow down. May the 10th and 11th is the event. The 11th is Saturday, since you said Saturday is better for you. So we can make you our keynote speaker during lunch. You can come in with either Friday night or come in early Saturday morning if that's better for you. We would like to know what the cost would be to get you out, fly you out. And if you're going to be here Friday night into Saturday or whatever, so we can accommodate you with your room. But we figured lunch keynote is great because nobody wants to miss lunch.
Yeah. Lunch is normally good. That allows me not to have to push too hard.
Correct. And we're not going to have any other speakers on Saturday. You will be the speaker. The way it's planned, Friday is a 4-hour seminar on health. It's all on putting your health first and how to stress less. Then there's vendors who will be in the expo all around all day Friday. We will not be having them vend during the 4-hour seminar because we really want people to participate in the seminar. After the seminar is lunch and the vending all afternoon. Then Saturday, it's just vending all morning, people, and we'll be highlighting some of the vendors give them a few minutes to highlight their products and for people to network. And then the lunch speaker will be you. We can move it up to 11 if you like, but whatever works for you. And then lunch will be served at noon. And then we have a presentation from Trapar Productions where they are going to introduce their screening. It's called Shattered Reflections. And we will show that screening, and we are appealing to the entire community. Fathers, bring out the mothers. Mother's Day is the very next day. And this is a 2-hour screening, and it's about, they talk about, it's a spiritual journey, different people at different times of their life and how an angel appears to them and, things seem to change. So it's really good. There's Hezekiah Walker and some other, I think Karen Akambi, some other familiar people who are in this film. And we're just hoping that the little weekend will be We'll bring information to people about their businesses, about their health, and about wealth. And it's called the Spring Fling, Spring Forward into Health and Wealth. And I did write my segment, my invitation to all the people I want to come while we were online here. So I'm gonna be ready to send mine out by the end of the day. I didn't use AI.
That's good, good.
She's
All
my
right.
CEO. God assigned her to me, and I'm blessed because I know you told us to build a team. So she
Yep.
understands what we need to do along with what I learned. That's why I brought her with me on this journey. But we got a lot of pastors knocking at our door. So I'll tell you about that. We need to get them addressed because they really do need it. I had a pastor send me over his secretary. They want to know about the grant writing program and your program. And then I have another pastor. I run payroll for them now. Got my first account with the church. Thank you, Jesus. And so now I need to be able to tell, he wants to get his 501(c). We're going to do that for him with my other team member who's a CPA, and she does all the incorporating for me. But we're building a team, and God's doing great things. So I need, because I'm more or less of like a catalyst when it comes to like building bridges and connecting people and telling them the product service we have. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna be marketing your grant suite program. So she said, well, let me call Dr. Hatchett and see what we can do, because she wants to talk about how to build a team for us as well. So let you go for it. And the lady who's in the play they're going to have is she was in the war room. She was in the
War
war room.
room. Yeah.
Yes, the
She's
lady
going to be in the
Karen
play too.
Akabi was the older lady in War Room, and she's been in several other movies as well. And as Dawn shared, I was speaking with her. I wanted to further meet with you. I wanted to square away first. May the 11th is the date. We will send an email or whatever to confirm that. And it's going to be at the Doubletree of Cherry Hill. It's located on Route 38, Route 70.
I know where it is.
Oh, you know exactly where it is. Okay, fine. Okay, that's where it's going to be. And we'll, they can, whoever has to send us information about, what we need to do to get you here, your flight, all the accommodations. We want to put all of that in there and marketing information so we can get us some flyers and stuff out and confirm, let people know that you will be our keynote for Saturday. And that draws them back, as well, because see, Friday is health and Saturday is wealth. And so we bringing it all together, and the vendors, everything. I'm just very excited about this. And as I shared with Dawn, I wanted to further speak with you about what we're doing with Community Faith Wealth Mission and what you're doing, because I want to see how we can collaborate, because we don't want to have to do all that. There may be some people who come in who can afford to go through, Grant Suite and get the, whatever it's the power pages and all, where they can get a grant every month. We don't want to overcharge them for something that they could get from you, but we've been doing some other things. So I wanted to see what is the difference between what we're offering them, where some people you have to hold their hand and take them through every step. Then there's some people who, once you do an assessment, you find out they're a little bit further along. So they might not need us to babysit them, more or less. So those are some of the things I want to talk about, and where I can identify when we could tell a person, okay, how much resources do you have? If they have enough, maybe we might just have to subsidize their grant a little bit and send them on over to, you, or the ones we need to keep with us, get them going. But my hope is once we get them going and they start making money, then they move on, to you, DLB, if they want, we're hoping they'll keep the services of the partners that they gain from DLB, because they're still going to need them, even if they go to Grant Suite. But they're going to need people to do a lot of their back office stuff. And we're hoping that by getting them involved with them through the nonprofit side, that when they make enough money, they will be so comfortable with them that they would want to continue to use those partners.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And as you're working with people, you just build it into their budget when you advise them on the things that they need. While you are advising them on the things they need, they know they're going to need back office support. So they
Exactly.
just plan it in their budget so that when they get grants, it's able to cover the cost of the service. And every nonprofit needs a development team, a grant writing department. But Power Pages, I mean, it's such a ridiculously low dollar amount for what we're doing. Bigger nonprofits had came to me asking for it. And I told them no. Because number one, I know that they have more money. And when I did this, I didn't have them in mind. I had newer, smaller nonprofits in mind.
Okay.
And so many times it looks like the smaller organizations don't have a way in. You know what I mean? Everything is so expensive. So, you know,
Right. They don't have grant writers. And
yeah,
then when they get someone, they cut and paste. And what I found is some people just cut and paste and they forget, wait a minute, you're not writing to the same person. And they don't go in and modify it. And it says the same thing about a grant that they gave us for something else. And it just doesn't make sense.
yeah. They just cut way too many corners. So
Yes.
I wanted what we did to be quality, and it's designed for smaller nonprofits like you all. But people that can hire grant writers, they need to go ahead and cough up the $60,000 that it costs. But for the people that are
Exactly.
starting out, this is, I think, it's the best thing on the market.
Absolutely. And one thing that we said, we had a meeting last night, me and her. We didn't want to work hard. We wanted to work smart. So if, for me, when I was telling her last night, is for me, when I hear Bishop, he's a bigger church, he wants to get, starting the grant writing. And I said, do you have grant writers? He said, he stepped away. So I said, well, I have Dr. Hatchett. He has the Grant Suite program. You may want to invest in that. So for me, right now, I'm just trying to get Community Faith Mission off the ground and get our grants coming in. So we don't want to be tied down with everybody because they're coming at us. She has pastors that want her to do stuff. And I have a couple pastors that need to get grant money going in their community because they do a lot. But I don't have the let's say I'm not experienced in that area to talk about, the church's needs and what they're doing recreation or, if they're doing spiritual versus, recreation.
Right. Yeah, I take care of that.
I'm saying to you. So yes, so I would definitely want to, how do I get them to you?
Yeah, you would have to, you really just have to tell them, like, this is what you need and you just need to do it. They're going to have to understand the value of it. But they already trust, the value of the program. Okay. I do think that Power Page would be best for them. I have 3 slots available. So if 3 churches that could need grant writing for a year, they should just go ahead and do that.
How much is the Power Pages?
Well, my introductory fee was $5,000, but that was just for you all. But the real price is $10,000, and that's for the year. That's 12 grants plus your emails, your email newsletter, plus introduction to the funding sources. And if you all referred them, then I think it'll be good if I gave you all like a $2,000 referral fee.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that might, help boost what you all do, just to kind of respect the partnership.
Thank you. So we're going to be talking, when she comes back from the event in Florida, because she's flying to Florida, when she comes back, we're going to be talking to Little Rock Baptist Church in Camden. And then I have Higher Ground Temple that other pastors looking. I have those 2 pastors and the church I go to, St. John's. I don't know what they're doing over there, but I'm just saying I might want to introduce that to them too as well. I don't want to
I'm going to introduce it as well to all of the churches that we're getting to sponsor the Shattered Reflections. What they're doing is they're sponsoring this for nonprofits and churches, and they're giving back $5 per general admission ticket to the church. So a church that gets 100 people, they make $500. They get 200 people, they make 1,000. So that's the film that we're going to have Saturday afternoon. So they follow you.
That
And
is such a
so
great
I'm
idea.
just, and they bring their people, they talk about the situations in the film, and they address them spiritually as, and it just have conversation. So
Mhm.
I'm just very excited about this. Dawn knows I was just going on and on last night. So we're just really happy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Dawn has your email address and the people I need to contact so I can start sending things over, as well as getting my letter out. I'm going to have people come. What day did I tell you, doing March the 7th for this meeting? I'm going to bring the team together of the people who I'm asking to help fund this event. And so I have hospitals, local hospitals, commissioners, the Workforce Investment Board, Department of Children and Families. We're just going to bring it all in because I know they're going to love this whole idea
Bring
about
every single one
health
of
and
them.
wealth.
Single one of them.
And so,
Every single
Coach
one
C,
of them.
I'm sorry.
Every church.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. Is that Mr. Mark?
He might be talking to somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Now
you.
I
No, I'm
can.
talking to you.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I didn't hear you. You kind of faded out.
Oh, it must have been the area.
Okay.
I was saying, invite all of them, all the organizations, especially organizations that support people in health, wellness, and community services, all the churches, bring all of them together. At the end of your meeting, you want to invite them to be sponsors and volunteers. That's your call to action. Will
Thank
you all
you.
be sponsors or volunteers?
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Now, the other thing, I
Got it.
meant to say this. I meant to interrupt you, but we don't know each other well enough for you to know I don't mean any harm. But I don't mean any harm. But there's something that you say you should never, ever say again. This is not a little weekend. It's not a little event. You use the word little. Never, ever, ever, ever diminish what you're doing. Despise not the day of small things. Okay? So I know you were just talking to me about it. It's our little event. Don't ever say little. Ever, 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 ever.
Like a big event, right?
It is.
It's
yes.
a big event.
This
It's
is an
an
amazing event. This
extravaganza.
is an
This is our
extravaganza.
expo.
Absolutely. This is the groundbreaking event. Just
And
add all
It
of that
is.
language to it
Yes.
because words matter. Words
It
are
is a
spirits.
groundbreaking event. It's going to
You get what I'm
continue. This
saying?
is our first
It's going to
one.
continue. This is our first annual. This is
Annual.
like this thing right here is it for our area and for our region.
Exactly.
Okay. This is
When we created Grindfest, we talked about it so big that the newspaper caught on and they thought it was bigger than even what we thought. We looked at it like it was going to be a block party. They called it a festival. And when they called it a festival, we said it's a festival. You get what I'm saying?
This is groundbreaking. Okay, we got to
And
get
now
it.
we just
I've
ride it.
changed
We
it.
ride it and
Groundbreaking.
build.
That's why I'm calling it an
Every
expo.
time.
Yes.
Every single time. One of the most horrible things, but it's real. But it is horrible. Donald Trump said, I can take somebody out in the middle of Times Square and shoot them and I'll still be president.
I see. Yes.
He
I
said
remember
that. He
Yes.
said that.
I've
You get what
heard
I'm
it.
saying? Now they have convicted him of
And he
sexual
believes
assault.
that.
He believes it. He believes he can do whatever he
He
wants.
believes it.
But he does a thing that is spiritual in nature. I don't know if he knows he does it. I think he does, because he's learned from the best. And it's called cognitive load. And that's where you take messaging and you say it so much that it presses on people's brain. That's what marketing is. That's what advertisers do. That's why commercials happen over and over and over again, because they want that messaging to sink in, to weigh on your brain. So when Donald Trump says, make America great again, make America great again, it's almost like a broken record, a sore thumb. I'm the president. The election was fake, blah, blah, blah. Like he's saying that because he wants the rest of the world to believe it, not because he necessarily believes it, but because he knows if I keep saying it, people are going to believe it. He knows how propaganda works. He knows how media works. This is also what we see in the book of Daniel with King Nebuchadnezzar. He put up the image and he said, every time you hear the music and see the image, you're supposed to bow. In other words, every time you hear a message and see an image, you're supposed to bow. That's social media.
Wow.
That's social media. Yes. He didn't say when you look at it one time, he said every time, which indicated that it was always going to be there. It's repetitive messaging. So when y'all talk about this, talk about it all the time. This is the biggest thing to ever hit our region. This is our county's answer and our solution to XYZ. This is what we're doing as our effort to solve the problem. This is the biggest, the most amazing, the groundbreaking, all of that. Never, ever, ever look at it as little.
Okay, we got that.
Our media out, and we should be sending on social media everywhere, starting it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm excited to be there. So you have your call to action for volunteers and sponsors. You're inviting everybody.
Yes.
You also need to write a letter to the editor. Yep. Do a press release for all media outlets, but also write a letter to the editor in your newspaper. Now, when I teach this, I have a class on it called the op-ed, OPED. They'll put it in the newspaper. You just have to know how to do a letter to the editor or how to do an op-ed. And it should be pretty easy to find in your local newspaper directory where you can submit letters. But you want to find out how you can do that.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you so much.
And listen, feel better, but I want to ask you one more question. So when I talk to the leadership, the pastors, I'm going to give them your email, and I'm going to tell them what the grant charges, 12 grants a year. You have an email and also introduction to resources.
Yeah, you might want to invite them all to Monday night.
Yes, that's what I want to do.
Invite them to Monday night.
I'm going to do that.
And that way, invite them to Monday night, and that way they'll be able to learn a little something. And their committee, tell them come and a representative. Sometimes the pastor has so much on his or her mind.
Exactly.
That it's good to have somebody with them.
Okay, I'm definitely doing that. Okay.
That's a good idea, Dawn. We got this.
Because we don't want to be tied trying to figure out their programs and design and all that.
Right.
We don't want to be tied to a desk coach. We want to be able to do our stuff and be able to run our program. And then later on, if it's some small business we want to get started, that's perfectly fine. We can help them out. But at this point, that's too big of a project. And you got this.
You're already doing it.
There's
no need for us to try to reinvent the wheel.
Reinvent the wheel. No.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that. And as a mother of a son who has had a kidney transplant, I wish you all the best. And I tell you, my son is now 47, and he was in his 40s. When his kidneys failed, he was only in his like 36 or 37, but he is 47 now, and I feel blessed every single day.
Praise God. Praise God.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I was so shocked to find out how many people and how many families have experienced this. Folks have been just coming out of the woodworks, and I feel very, very supportive.
And he was not a drinker or a drug user or anything. They said it was a hereditary. They said it was a trait, because I offered to give my kidney, but they wouldn't allow me because they said it was in his genes, and the same thing could happen again if I was the one who had the trait.
Yeah, they said mine was hereditary too. But I feel very, very supported, and I'm surprised, honestly, because there are lots of people there are people I have never ever seen them in person. I only met them online, and they're offering support. Some of them asked me for the donor link. They're willing to donate, and I appreciate God. This is just amazing.
Yes. It took him 5 years before he received the kidney, but I tell you, it was well worth the wait.
Okay. We pray.
All right. Yes. Well, y'all have a good day, and
you too.
We'll
Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you in May.
Yes, I'm excited. Thank you for accepting the invitation. We'll send a letter out to you, Coach. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.